I feel like this year started recently. I don't know how it moved so fast, because now we have August, September, October, November, December, then we enter 2027, and that gives me some bit of scare. I'm like, what? And the reason as to why that scare comes is because I don't have much to show for the 7 months that we have so far moved into the year. So I thought maybe I could make a recap of what my goals were at the start of the year, how far I have gone into working on those goals, what I have learned along the way, and what changes need to be made, and then also what I think about everything relating to the passage of time and to the accountability for time that has been spent or wasted. At the start of this year, I had promised myself to learn AI, to go deep into learning it to the extent of creating things using AI that could make me money, could make me earn money online. I think that was one of the top goals. The other one was, at that time I was calling it YouTube automation, but it was basically the need to grow a YouTube channel and to, if possible, to earn from that YouTube channel that has been grown. And then the other thing was to learn the SolidWorks software well enough for me to create an online platform as a SolidWorks designer and get some freelance gigs. So those were the three main goals. And all of them were financial goals. I didn't have much goals that don't tie into the finances. Now, on the part of where the time went or the progress in as far as working on those goals is concerned, as for the AI goal, I, at least in the first 2 or 3 months, I learned Python, and I was trying to build an expense tracker using Python. I was learning. I had created a master prompt in ChatGPT that was teaching me day by day how to create the expense tracker, and then also teaching me the fundamentals that we were applying in creating that tracker, the Python fundamentals. But when I reached the part where I had a page, I remember by we I mean me and ChatGPT, we had made an interface where someone can put in their expense and then put in what that expense was for. And the essence was that if someone keeps doing that every time they make an expense, then at the end probably of a month or whatever time that person wants, the tracker gives them an accountability of where their money has gone when it's categorized the way that person wants it. And then it also gives them an insight about their expenses. It tells them something about their spending habits. Something like you are spending this month on, for example, alcohol. If that person is a smoker, cigarettes is more than your expense on that particular thing the previous month. So it's basically trying to tell this person that maybe you should watch your drinking habits or your smoking habits or anything. It could tell you, as long as you're honest with it when you're punching in your expense and what category of an expense it is, if it was a need or if it was a want, then it will give you insights that actually make sense and could help you to improve your finances or even other areas of your life. But yeah, I stopped at that bit where we had made that page, which was a begin of what the interface could be. So after that I kind of quit, and I'm going to get into that, why it happened like that. Then as for SolidWorks, I also, to summarize everything, I did not push as hard as I could have on all these three goals. As for YouTube, you can tell from how far this channel has grown to see how far I've gone on working on that goal. Now, the reason as to why I didn't push as hard as I could have, the first reason is being distracted by other minor goals. Likely enough, my distraction is not social media. My greatest distraction is not social media, is not partying. My greatest distraction, I've realized, is the possibility of achieving another goal in a shorter time, which makes me kind of first pose the one that I've been working on, which in my perspective is a very long-term goal, and then I try to work on achieving this one, which seems like it could be achieved quicker, only to realize at some point in trying to achieve this smaller goal that it takes more time than I thought it does, or that it requires more effort than I thought it does. And by the time I realized that I have been away from the other long-term goal long enough for me to feel some hindrance to go back to it. So to give an example, I remember at some point, probably 3 months ago or 2.5, I felt like, man, I could just make templates and sell those, and they would be easy to make, upload them, make a profile, sell those online. So I spent like 1.5 months trying to learn how to create, first of all, the profile, learning how to make the templates, whatever. And then I realized I have to create an account, like a Pioneer account or PayPal account, an account that whoever wants to purchase my digital product could pay me through, only to realize people in Uganda can't receive money through PayPal and Pioneer, and most of these platforms accept only those accounts. There's these online selling platforms. Okay, there are lots of hindrances in as far as creating digital products and selling them online is concerned, but by the time I realized these challenges, I was like 1.5 months in, having put a pause on the other goals. So there is this analogy that I had made up in my mind to explain this better, and it goes like this. You get into a garden, you see a very good fruit that you'd like on some tall tree. So you're like, let me climb this tree and can get this fruit. At some point in your climbing, you see some other tree which has some other fruit, and this other tree is comparably shorter, and you're like, I could actually go and climb this tree very fast and get this fruit. So you go down on this tree that you have been climbing, and you go and try to climb the other seemingly shorter tree. And while at it, you realize this tree is not as easy to climb as you thought it is. So you get discouraged from continuing on climbing this tree which seemed shorter. And then now you have to come down on this tree, and it feels it's hurting to know that you have wasted time on this seemingly shorter tree when you could have made progress on the tree you are climbing at first. So you even feel discouraged to resume the climbing of this tree, and so in your mind you're trying to sketch for shorter trees which could be having fruit that you could get very fast, and in all that sketching time you're wasting more time. So yeah, I think that's the greatest obstacle or habitual failure that happened that made me not push as hard as I should have. And I understand this world, you're not supposed to be making any excuses. You're not supposed to be validating your inability to achieve something. You should either be having results or be working on getting those results. But nevertheless, I had to put these thoughts into a video. For one, to have a documentation of what lesson I have learned, because it would be bad to not achieve the goal and still not have learned anything from it. And it's not like I have not achieved this goal, because I still have 5 months. I could make some substantial progress, especially on the first two, the AI and the YouTube. As for SolidWorks, as I already explained what I discovered, it's not easy for people in this country, in Uganda, to earn money through freelancing online. It's possible, but it's not easy, and the things that are required are things that I might not be able to present right now, maybe later. So yeah, it's not like I have failed, but I have not hit the milestones I expected to hit by this time, and that is what I have learned from it. And I had to document this lesson so that maybe it could help me become a better person in this remaining month of the year and in the rest of my life. And also, hopefully, anyone that might get to watch this video and is also having a not so good time making progress in their yearly goals, annual goals, maybe it could be of help for them to get to think about what it is about their behaviors that is making it hard for them to make these expected achievements, but also to see if we share the same reasons. Yeah, I think there is not more for me to say about this, at least for now. So I'll call it the end of the video.